So you're watching this right now because your circumstances got worse, or you're even seeing the opposite of what it is that you want to manifest right now. So let's talk about how you can tackle this. Now, I want to give you an example, because what most people experience in their manifesting journey at some point is, let's just say, they want to manifest something, and then 2 days later, 2 weeks later, seemingly there is absolutely just everything's like frozen. There seems to be no movement. Things seem to be maybe even worse than before, or even the opposite is happening. So an example could be, that you have the desire to double your salary. So you're working at the company, and at some point you say, okay, I really want to make more money there. I really want to earn more. I want to just get more money from my job. And so you imagine the end, right? You go to the end where you have doubled your salary, where you have more finances, and then 2 weeks later, you get fired from your current job. This is actually a story that I know from someone that is in my program, and they experienced something similar where, they went through this, seemingly up and down in their journey. But at the end, something very interesting happened. And that is what we're going to talk about right now. So one very important thing which I want you to understand is that you can't measure progress based on the current circumstances in the external world. So if we understand the external world as a confirming, echoing mirror, then you can't look at a mirror, right? You can't look at your mirror image that is delayed. So basically you look in the past, you look into what previously your state manifested, right? So if you always take your cue from that, and now, something more worse happens, which, by the way, is a judgment based on your old state, right? It's a judgment based from, it's an individual judgment, but who are you to judge if right now things are worse? If you would stay or be in the end state, you would not even judge that as, oh, now things are worse. Because you could assume having double salary, right, earning tremendously much, you get fired from this job, and tomorrow your best friend that also works in the company says, hey, this amazing position got free and we're looking for someone, and then you get this job in this other company with the double salary, and you love it, right? So again, because that's what you have awakened within yourself. So you can't judge based on what right now the circumstances show you, right? So measure if you are in your desired state by observing your reactions to life. They are the biggest indication showing, why you dwell within. So if you get fired from your current job and that extremely makes you super triggered, and you react extremely towards that, then you're still in a doubting state, in it's not here yet, I'm not having it yet, and so therefore it happens and you're shocked even more. But would you be knowingly in the new state, in the desired state, and you dwell in there, and let's just say for this example, someone loses their job, your reactions would be different towards this external event. So please see that it's not the external event that is now to be judged. That's in a sense neutral. Someone from a position of, oh my God, I don't know, what to do, and then they get fired, they're extremely reactive. They're extremely triggered. They feel extremely lost. Someone that's already in this state of, I have my dream job, I have my, desired salary, and this is what I know, and then they get fired, they have a different, view on the same circumstance based on where they stand within. So never judge based on the circumstance. Don't judge at all. But your inner state will determine how you view the world, from which state you will view the world. So you can see if you are actually in the desired state. In this example, if you, have your double salary in your dream job, by seeing your reactions to life. So if you then would get fired, you would not really react to that. So circumstances show the opposite, right? That is what people also say, okay, I now imagined this, I now shifted into this state, I know, did apply some of the techniques to shift into this new reality, but then, I see the opposite. But please let me tell you that this is irrelevant as long as you consciously go back in your desired state. The statement, circumstances don't matter, which you have probably heard already, only makes sense for a person that internally stands in the wish-fulfilled state. If you're still in your current state and then circumstances happen that trigger you, well, they will matter to you, and you will react to them because you're still in that current state. But actually, from an absolute standpoint, from a deeper standpoint, they don't matter because they're not absolute, they're not final. So once you align yourself internally to a new state, you'll perceive the same circumstances differently. So you could get fired, but that's no longer really bothering you because within, you already know yourself to have this salary. You already know yourself to have X, Y, and Z. So therefore, even if things seemingly get worse, that's not a bad thing, right? That's not meaning that, maybe something seemingly negative happens, so you lose the job, but then this is simply an opportunity to free up space so that you can actually encounter, the real job. Or, let's just say you want to manifest a relationship and then you see that, you have no communication or whatever, or you have communication and then you go to the end and then, communication pauses, whatever. You can judge that and be like, oh, this means this and that. But you can also just let this be a neutral circumstance within remaining your end state or return maneuver back in the wish fulfilled state. And while you're in there, while you see the world through the lens of the version of you that already has the goal, well, that current circumstance will no longer really bother you, right? So it's not, it's no problem in a sense. It's not an issue if right now the circumstances are the opposite or seemingly if they get worse. This should never be judged. If you appropriate the end state, the bridge starts to unfold, always let the state lead. I say this in many of my videos, let the state lead. But really to conclude, because I really want you to understand this, right? If you sit there right now, so you came into Neville's teachings to manifesting and you right now have one or two things that, seemingly got worse, or there seemingly, there's no change in your outside world in regards to this one desire, or things even, show you the opposite of what it is that you want, you will only be triggered by this. You will only react towards this. You will only see this as an obstacle from the state of not having your desire, of not being your desired version. If you let the circumstance be, simply rest, acknowledge the circumstance, don't hide from it, let it be, and within, rise to the level of your achieved the goal. Within, assume the end state again. Within, ask yourself, wait, what would it be like? Would I already have my goal? How would I see the world? Would I already, stand in my desired end state, be my desired identity? Or you imagine scenes that imply that to anchor you in that state. Well, then you start to no longer judge these circumstances as, oh, that means that I can no longer get my manifestation. That means that now my desire ceases to exist. Your desire can never cease to exist. Nothing can cease out of existence, out of consciousness. It's forever there, right? And simply because you have a doubt, simply because something right now in the external, again, 3D world, which is always the effect, it never never there to cause a state in you. If you let it cause a state in you and you react and you say, oh, it doesn't work, and you react on it, then you have let it cause a new state in you, and then you just stay stuck. But if you simply let the circumstances, and no matter what right now is there, go within to the desired state, well, then what does it matter right now if things seemingly go the opposite, right? I assume that I have double of salary in the company that I work in, and then, 3 days later, I got fired. Well, right now, I honestly would laugh about this, but that's only because I have heard so many stories where exactly those things happen, or someone wants to manifest a new car and then their current car, has a problem, or, things like that. So don't really judge based on circumstances, right? Because again, the 3D world is not this outside world. The mirror is not a measurement of progress. You cannot look there and ask, am I doing this right? Or does this now indicate that I'm on the right path? Because then it will always be attached to what is there. No, within we can, at any given moment, be already in any desired end state. So within should be the place you dwell. And then external is an amazing window to see what we have alive within us, or what we made alive within ourselves. But don't measure based on your current circumstances, right? If you say, oh, they got worse, or there is no movement, then you judge it right now based from your old state. If you would already be in the new state, then this would not trigger you, because your reactions to life always come out of your state. So if within you are in the end state, you have totally different reactions and a different view on circumstances. And that's the key, right? So this is my view. This is my take on, circumstances got worse. Circumstances are the opposite. Help me, I see the opposite. There's no movement. Again, when you notice that, relax, come back to the principles. Maybe, watch a video that helped you, bookmark some videos that help you to understand, oh, wait a sec, my state and my circumstances are not absolute. They are not final, right? If you lose yourself in the state and in the circumstances and you think, okay, that's the only possibility there is, then it will seem very absolute to you. Then it will seem very final to you. If you remember that's one state, one potential manifested right now, but there's so much more available, so much more potential available, then let the facts speak what they speak right now, but in the truth, in our inner reality, not in the reverberant echoing mirror, no, in the inner reality, in our imagination, our awareness, right? Remember, consciousness is the only reality. Whatever you're conscious of at this moment, not what your senses right now tell you. Your senses can right now tell you red numbers on the bank account. You can be in the mood, in the state, in the consciousness of financial abundance. So it's really what you hold alive in yourself that determines. So if you see things get worse, that's not an indication that things are actually worse. As long as you dwell in the end state, it could be that, of course, it looks like a rough sea outside and things go like forth a little bit, back, up, down. I know that this can be a little bit overwhelming, but as you maneuver back in the wish-fulfilled state and rest in that mood and state of the wish-fulfilled, you will not be triggered by that. That's my statement. So definitely let me know in the comments if that helped you, if that makes sense, if you have questions on that, if you have any feedback on this video, please go to the comment section and give me your feedback on this topic of, circumstances don't matter and circumstances get worse. Please help me. If you use this statement like circumstances they don't matter, I would say, of course, like the circumstances, they all matter to us because we want to also bring our desires into the manifested circumstances. But as long as you are attached to them and think that they indicate something and see them as final, then they will matter to you. But in truth, in actuality, they don't matter because they are simply not final. They're simply not indicating your state. You can internally, at any given moment, be in whatever state you want to be in. So how could therefore the circumstance, in a sense, matter? But that all does not mean that you should ignore the outside world and become, crazy and no longer have fun in your life. If your life right now is amazing, then please enjoy it also in the outside world. The 3D world is not your enemy. Remember, it's simply a mirror that magnifies, that objectifies the contents of your consciousness, your inner states, your identity, and what you hold to be true about yourself and the world and others. And that's how your personal reality looks like. But if things on the screen of space in your circumstances seemingly get worse, but you would stand in your end state, you would not even see that and even say that, oh, things got worse. So that's already a personal judgment based on your old state. So notice that, align back to the desired state, and you will no longer even perceive that as opposite or as worse. For you, things will already be done. You will already be in this knowingness of having achieved your goal. Right? So if you need any help with that, this made sense to you, you want to deepen that, you want to integrate Neville's teachings and the law of assumption in your life, you have desires right now, and you want to manifest them, you want to move towards them, you want to be surrounded by an empowering, like-minded community of people that also engage in these teachings and that support each other. You want my accountability, you want weekly calls, you want a structured system, right, step by step, where I guide you through all of that, defining your goals, maneuvering in a state, what to do when you fall out of it, fears, doubts, emotions, and really, more so master your inner reality and your life's journey. Then I definitely invite you to check out my program. And how do you do that? You simply book a call with me or my team. This is a non-binding call where we get to know you, ask you some questions to see what have you done so far, what are your goals, see if we can help you with our approach, and then we can tell you about our program, and then you can decide if you want to do that. And if yes, then cool. But if you say no, this sounds cool, but right now it's not something for me, I want to do it myself, well, then that's also fine. We are not house selling. We're basically finding out, who can we help, making them an offer, but it's your decision. So that is my invitation. If you want to work with me, if you want to continue to learn for free, check out my YouTube videos, check out the free masterclass that's also in the video description, and you will have a lot to internalize, to test, to apply, to play with, and you should already see some results. So that the program is for people that really wanted to take it to the next level and that no longer want to be alone on their journey. So this was a little longer advertisement, but I hope you're fine with that. So that's it from my side, and I speak to you in the next one. Bye, guys.